Because I
But do
tell you
you
what,
think
at
that
this
you can do something to make yourself more desirable for
What does
someone to
that
pick you
mean?
to be
right, what is
desirable? Somebody to actually want you.
No, 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 no. Like, I know what the word desirable means, but what I'm saying is, what? Come on now.
I
What
was
I'm
confused.
saying is, what type of changes are you talking about? Because
Not,
that's such a subjective thing. It's like,
so not necessarily changes. Say, let me try to pick a guy, I guess. If this type of guy likes a woman who cooks, who is in shape, should you not necessarily force it, but figure out a way to incorporate what he likes in the mate into yourself?
no, I don't think
No?
so. And this is what
um,
this hold on, wait a minute. This is what I mean when I say that.
go ahead.
When I say no, I mean if you are making these changes just to get this man, I think that's an issue. If you are making these changes because you want to make these changes and it therefore attracts this man, that's okay. If you're doing it just simply to get attention from a guy, no, I don't think you should.
Well, it's like you're doing it because you want to be that man's wife, and that's what that man wants. But you actually want to be the wife. You have to do what the other person
This
wants.
is
Not
why I
everything,
said,
maybe like 80, 75%, 80%, because you're never gonna get everything you want.
this is why I said, well, okay,
This
this is,
hold on, wait, because to me, I feel like something like that can fall into that 20% of what you just not gonna get.
It could, but what I'm saying is you could pick, maybe naturally you have 60%, but you can kind of do 20 to get to 80. It's like, I don't mind doing it. Like, is it okay to incorporate that into it? It's not like a big stretch. It's like, I was thinking about cooking, think about learning, and I know he really likes it. Let me just go ahead and learn.
See, but okay. Well, I feel like that I don't totally agree still, but I do feel like that's a little different because you already had in your head that you were thinking about possibly doing it anyway. What I'm talking about is I don't do this. This is just not a thing. I don't cook. I just don't cook. I don't like to cook. I don't like the time that it takes. I don't like grocery shopping. I don't like to cook. If you want me to cook, you're just going to have to understand that I'm not going to cook. I've given you all this other stuff, but I'm not going to cook. It's just is what it is. So I just feel that when you get into like, I understand compromise is a thing, but I feel like people take that word far sometimes where they're
yeah.
compromising in the sense of actually changing what you legitimately do or do not like to do just to have this person around or just to get married to this person. Even if you want to, I want to marry this man. But if there's something that he wants from me that I'm just not going to do, I'm not getting ready to change that just to get him to marry me.
Yeah, it's a little different. I was trying to explain. If it's something
Um,
that you just like X, I'm not saying that, not the X stuff, the one that's like one line. It's like,
well,
yeah,
this
that's what I'm
is
talking
where
about.
I stand on that. Because if you and this person are dating, like you and this person are in the beginning stages of dating and you see things in this person that you like to incorporate in your life, fine, sure, go right ahead, do all the changes you want to do. But as we have seen from every sitcom in the world from the 80s and 90s, if you try to incorporate things that you know this person likes into your life just under the guise of landing this person, it never works because you can't keep it up. Literally every sitcom has told us that, from Lisa Turtle pretending like she likes to read all the way to Will Smith pretending to be abstinent to
Carlton.
get that girl to marry him, or pretending to be Carlton. It doesn't work. It's like you can't do, because the thing is, at the end of the day, you don't like to do those things. Like if I now, well, I don't know. I like to work out, but I don't work out as hard as some other people. So if I get with this trainer and he like, we about to go hard 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, I'm like, oh no, bitch, you got me fucked up. You about to get these hot 30 minutes and leave me the fuck alone. Like, it's just,
See, I'm not talking about like absolutely no, I don't want to do that. I'm talking about there's a scale of I don't
But
want to do that, and then I can kind of do that, and you're
But see,
kind of
the
like
thing
right
is,
here.
it's
That's
like,
what
but
I'm
that's
talking
what I'm saying. Like, I just said, I like to work out. I'll work out. I'm just not about to pretend like I'll be working out 5 hours. And I feel like that's the difference. It's like you can be inspired to do things you were already planning to do by a person that you're interested in or that you're dating, but to try to pretend that you do these things because they like these things,
Yeah,
that's a
maybe I
fool's
didn't explain
errand.
But
it correctly.
Sharice,
That's what I
oh,
meant. Go
so
ahead.
okay, I think I'm understanding what you mean. I watched this thing called a Love Hour. Uh, Kev on stage, Miss Kev on stage. I like both of y'all.
No,
Ain't no,
no,
I
I'm
am
just playing.
definitely
Go
pushing
ahead.
for them
Go
black
ahead.
folks. But anyway, so they have this thing called the Love Hour, and they were talking. One of the episodes was about sex. Well, they have multiple, but one time they were talking about how they have this list of red lights, yellow lights, and green lights. So I think what you're referring to are things that are yellow lights, right?
Yes. Yeah, maybe I
Okay.
didn't explain
So
that
this,
correctly. Not
so
going from
this,
red to green.
so this is my argument with that. If if you want me to do something and I am at a yellow light, you need to understand that it might stay yellow and it might push to red. I am not going to say that that yellow light should just immediately be forced into the green just to get this guy to marry me. That's what I mean when I say, like, if it's a yellow for me, then it's a yellow for me. And I'm not, it's like I'm not going to do it just to make you happy.
I think you're almost to where I was trying to say. The man, y'all not dating or that serious yet. He didn't ask you to do anything. What I'm saying is, you guys are kind of talking, and you can kind of figure out that you have 60% of what he needs, and then there's the 20% that you're yellow on, and you're like, I feel like if I can get 20 more percent of these yellows to green, then I might look more desirable to him.
I still say no.
Let
I'd still say no.
I still say no because I feel like you pushing yourself to do something that you wasn't ready to do. Because if you was ready to
Right.
do it, you wouldn't be on yellow.
why did
You're
why
pushing.
okay, why are you saying pushing? I didn't say you're gonna do it now. I'm saying you're like, okay,
But
I
the
see he
fact that
likes
it's
that.
even the fact that
The
it's
fact
even
that it's
in
in
your
your
mind
mind
to
only
do it
because of
because of
him.
him
I
is
never said
pushing.
you do it only because of him.
That is what you just said.
That's what
No, I didn't say only because of him. You have
you
some
said.
yellows. You think no, I mean, wait. You have
Go
some
ahead.
yellows. You're thinking about it, and you said it early, and I was like, oh, that's kind of what I mean. He's doing this, and like, oh, that inspires me to go ahead and do this as well. Because
Being inspired to move forward on something you were already thinking about and doing something that you were hesitant to do because he likes it are two different things. Like, that's why I feel like what you're saying is kind of competing because it's two different things. If I have pause for any reason and my whole motivation of stepping forward off of my pause is to make myself more desirable for him, that's pushing myself into doing something I didn't really plan on doing at that moment. Now, if it was already something that I was going to do and just didn't know how to get started or didn't have the courage to get started, I'm not on yellow. I'm already on green. I just need a little help out to start.
Just a little lost.
That's different. That's two different things.
I think it's pretty similar.
Explain.
Because what I'm saying is, like I said, you should try to get to change things that you are kind of thinking about already. Figure that out. Don't go to something that you would never do to try to make yourself more desirable. Maybe choose something that's like, I was thinking about doing that, and now he's inspiring me to go ahead and do this, or now I'm motivated to do it. I'm not saying just picking something out the blue and doing it because it makes him happy.
I didn't say that either. What I did say was you have stuff that you already have pause about for whatever reason as to not move forward. And if you move forward because this will make you more desirable to him, that's still pushing yourself. It don't matter how far you have to push yourself, you still push yourself into it. And then you also have, this also falls into being happy being single. Because if you're happy being single, you're gonna do your thing, whatever you're gonna do in your own time. When you talk about compromising relationships, that's like agreeing on the fabric softener, or like, we gotta agree on who do these type of chores. That shouldn't have nothing to do with compromising your person, because you should walk into the relationship as a whole person. If they can't handle you as a whole person, that's not the relationship for you, because you shouldn't lose pieces of who you are to be in a relationship. I don't believe relationships are 50-50. That's stupid. Relationships are 100-100. I walk into this a whole person, just like you walk into this a whole person. And we find ways to make our lives work, and you compromise in that sense, but not in who I am fundamentally.
I would say it
Sorry,
looks like
Liz.
I must know because like she still disagree.
I do.
It's fine.
Because
Go ahead.
y'all are
Talk it
going
out.
too deep in what I'm. Let me try to come up with a scenario.
No,
Let me
I don't.
take. Let me
Okay.
take Sean. No, hold on. Let me take Sean. He was the most like non-romantic person. He don't really like that. I'm like, I like flowers every now and then. He like, I don't like that. And eventually he started doing it, something small like that.
But that's not
Triple love
changing.
language.
But that's not changing who he is. That's understanding you.
Who said anybody changing who you are? That's what
You
I.
did.
I
No,
No, I
no,
didn't.
okay,
No, I
okay, wait a
didn't.
minute. No, hold on, wait a minute. Because what you said was like when you mentioned the cooking thing, you were talking about how you was like, I'm thinking about cooking. That's like that's for you because like cooking, you got to eat too. So how are you currently eating? Like buying flowers is a love language and learning how to love the person you're with. Cooking is that's something that you would have had to fundamentally do for yourself. So doing that will you would have because you as a when you're single, you still got to eat. So how are you
You
currently
don't have to
eating?
learn how to cook though.
No, this is what I mean when I say that. However, you're currently eating is the same way you can feed the person you're with. So to then tell me, no, I want you to cook instead, it's like, well, I don't cook. You being fed. It's not, I'm not the chef, but you're still being fed. I can make sure you eat, but I'm just not going to be the chef because that's just not something that I do. And if the like the flower that you're referring to, that's like the acts of service. No, that's gifts. That's gifts. So if you like gifts, it's like, okay, so cooking can fall into acts of service or gifts. And
It's a
if
love
you're
language for
love,
some people.
hold on, but wait, what I'm no, because what I'm saying, no, that's a very specific thing that falls under a love language. So if your love language is the act of service or gifts, that means I can give you something else. It doesn't have to be the cooking. I understand you like, because an act of service could be, okay, I didn't cook, but I cleaned the whole kitchen up. After somebody else did, I cleaned up the whole house. That's an act of service. I didn't give you a meal as a gift, but I went out and bought you that dress. I'm sorry, the watch that you wanted just randomly on the Thursday. So if your love language is the acts of service or gifts, you can find another way of doing that. If you're specifically telling me I have to cook, that's not a love language. That's you telling me that that's what I need to do.
Who told you you had to cook?
That's
You.
what you're saying.
No, no.
Okay,
But
okay,
no,
say
when I'm
okay,
saying
okay,
the
say it again.
man never said that to you. What I'm saying is you saw that he liked it
But whether
and you were
it was
thinking about it anyway.
But if you
articulated
whether he said it specifically or
or
he
you
implied
picked it
it,
up through his
he still
implications, it's still
told you
one and
that.
the same.
Y'all aren't dating yet. Y'all not
It does
exclusive
not
yet.
matter. That does not matter. That has nothing to do with what you're
It
talking about.
does because it's kind of like general. This is the type of man that you want. So you.
See, this is where I say, like, you're not dating yet, right? You're interested and you've discovered that these are the things that are on his checklist. So now you're trying to fit his checklist.
All right, let's scratch the he. Like you just get,
or
you
she
just have
or
a
they or whoever.
No. I mean that. I mean like that. I meant you know the type of man that you want, and by just doing some surveys, looking on the YouTubes, that they say this is the list of that this type of man likes, just general. So you start getting things on that you like to do that's on that list to then present yourself. I want to say that to the dating world. there's nobody in your mind yet. You just say, this type of man making this much money, doing this for you, typically likes these things. And you say, okay, let me pick out 8 of these. That's what I was trying to say the whole time. It's not like
But
a
it's
person
still,
is
but
telling you
this
that.
is the, but whether you're talking about a specific person or just this inanimate
Generalized.
checklist, it still goes the same things. Because if you pick out 8 things on this checklist, but you only do 5, you're still making yourself fit. It's still the same thing. It doesn't
Okay.
matter whether we have a
Okay.
physical person or not.
Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm gonna take me for example. Okay. When you based upon what we've even said right now, this man likes the man that you want, he likes a woman who wears a size 5. I don't wear no damn size 5. And I am never gonna wear no size 5. So I am just not gonna get that man. It's just not gonna happen.
Mhm.
And I feel like the cooking falls into the same category.
Okay,
I
let
don't
me try this
cook.
one more time.
Just
I'm
because
not
you keep
okay.
saying it, is it?
Because you are not, you don't want a bunch. That's like a rant for you, right?
No, it's not, I don't want to budge. It's just like I don't care. I don't care to be a size 5. But no, the cook. Hold on, because this goes back to what Siobhan was saying. Are you saying you were already wanting to cook, just didn't know what to do, or it's a yellow as in I don't care to cook? So let's get that one straight first, because those are
I
2 different things.
It's that you were thinking about it, learning, but you never had the motivation or anything to do it. You was
Okay,
like,
so
I kind of want to learn, but then you're like, you know what? I am going to go ahead and do
But
it
if,
because. Go ahead.
I
let
mean,
her finish.
whether
Let her
you,
finish. Let her finish.
go ahead.
Finish.
I forgot what I was going to say now. I lost my train of thought.
But if you're,
Oh.
even if it is something that you were thinking about learning or possibly wanting to learn, like maybe I'll take a cooking class, whatever. But if the motivation for you to finally do it is to land this man that you're interested in or to fit this checklist, that's still not doing it for the right reasons. Because you're still not doing it for you.
Even if it's the last 10% push, it's
You're not doing
90%
it for
you,
you.
10%. Okay.
Because if you're doing it, what I could think in my mind all day, I want to do this, I'll do this eventually. But if my motivation to move forward is to fit a checklist, I'm no longer doing it for me.
So,
I mean,
when we had the conversation about your friend who wanted to leave his girlfriend or whatever, you were
has since
saying,
left her.
one of you guys was saying like maybe they just need that extra. I think Chanel was saying,
I said that.
The extra little push or support. So is he
Mhm.
doing it for you because you gave him the extra support?
They're not even
I don't think
remotely the
those
same
are.
thing.
I don't think those are the same thing.
They don't correlate at all, actually. Because you're talking about somebody who's in a relationship and they're trying to figure their relationship out, and having somebody to support them in figuring their relationship out is totally different from deciding to do something so you can fit an imaginary checklist for a man that you don't have yet. They don't correlate. I don't see how they would. I'm confused. Go ahead, say what you got to say.
Nothing else to say because I feel like you guys are still saying that you're doing it completely for a man, even if it's like 5%,
See,
5%.
no, I didn't say completely, but what I said
completely.
What did you just say?
What I said was, yes, you may have been thinking about it, but if your final push forward to do it was to fit this checklist, then you're not doing it for yourself. It doesn't matter if you were thinking about it, because clearly you weren't thinking about it hard enough to do it in that moment. The fact of fitting his checklist became your deciding factor. It's not for you, it's for him.
I guess hold on. Okay. Let me see. We can stick with the cooking thing. I guess this is more so what we're saying, Sharice. And even though I know you're saying it's not a specific person, it's just generalized things that people kind of say that these men want. Okay, so for the cooking, I think the difference that what we're saying is there's a difference between I might want to cook and him saying like, oh, well, you know, there's this class, we could go together, we can go to this class, you can learn, or, you know, whatever, you know, kind of like the motivation of, well, we can learn how to cook, you know, we can do that. And then it's still for you, but I am motivating you to do so. That's different than it being, I don't want you unless you cook, and therefore you learned how to cook. Even though your starting point was the same, but one of them is an inspiration.
One of them is a support system, and the other one is and the other one is a drastic change.
Siobhan, can I finish?
I'm sorry.
It's not drastic.
So one, hold on, wait a minute.
Any change to yourself to fit somebody else's criteria is drastic.
One of them, hold on, Sharice, did you want to say what I'm saying? One of them was a motivation of, don't sure, either you do or you don't. You didn't have to sure. If you don't, that's fine.
Go
So
ahead.
one of them is I support you and the fact that you're thinking about it, and I'm here with you and help you, and I'll do it with you because you're thinking about it. And if my push is the last thing you needed, I will help you do so. That's one man. And while another one is, you may be already thinking about it, but if you don't learn how to do it, I don't want you. And then that's the reason you did it.
Even if we take it off cooking, let's talk about weight loss.
Do you think, wait a minute. Do you think those are the same? Do you think those are one and the same?
Nope.
So that's more so what we're referring to when we're saying, like, if you learn to cook because of the checklist, that's I'm doing it to get you here, versus I'm doing it because I was already thinking about it and you're my inspiration for doing so.
I get what you're saying, but that's not what I was saying. So we can go to something else.